Snails can be found in a wide range of environments, including ditches, deserts, and the abyssal depths of the sea. While land snails may be the most familiar, numerous types of snails can be found in freshwater, and marine snails are the ones that make up the majority of snail species, displaying much greater diversity in biomass. The term snail is the common name for gastropod molluscs provided with a spiral shell. Instead, gastropods that naturally lack a shell, or have only an internal one, are mostly called slugs. Snails move slowly, alternating contractions and elongations of their bodies. They produce mucus to help themselves in locomotion by reducing friction and allowing them to move through areas of high slopes. This mucus also contributes to its thermal regulation, reduces the snail's risk of wounds and external aggressions, mainly bacterial and fungal, and helps them drive away potentially dangerous insects such as ants. Last but not least, a few species, including Helix pomatia, seal the opening of their shell with a dry layer of mucus called epiphragm. These can either create a normal mucus epiphragm for short periods of rest, or create a different, specialized solid hard epiphragm before annual hibernation. The latter kind of epiphragm is composed mainly of calcium carbonate, more effective at preventing water loss than a thin mucus epiphragm. When the snail grows, so does its shell. A snail will close a section of its shell and add a new chamber as it grows, each chamber being larger than the previous one. At some point, the snail builds a rim around the shell opening, stops growing, and begins to reproduce. The snail's shell and egg covers are made primarily of calcium carbonate, so they require a good amount of calcium in their diet and a suitable environment to produce a strong shell. A lack of calcium, or a fluctuation in the pH level in its environment, will probably make its shell thin, crack, or have holes. The largest land snail is the giant African snail, Achatina fulica, which can grow up to 15 inches, 38 centimeters from snout to tail, and weigh 1 kilogram, 2 pounds. Pomatia maculata, known as the giant apple snail, is the largest freshwater snail. The largest living species of sea snail is Syrinx aruanus. Its shell can measure up to 90 centimeters, 35 inches in length, and the whole animal with the shell can weigh up to 18 kilograms, 40 pounds. In contrast, the smallest land snails, Angustopola dominici, have recently been discovered in China. It measures 0.03 inches, 0.86 millimeters long. Many snails are herbivorous, eating plants or algae, though a few land species and many marine species are omnivores or predatory carnivores. Most snails have thousands of microscopic tooth-like structures, located on a banded ribbon-like tongue, called radula. The radula works like a file, ripping food into small pieces. Snails feed at night, primarily on decaying organic matter. However, their diet can also include fungi, lichens, green foliage, worms, centipedes, insects, animal feces, carrion, and even other slugs and snails. Snails have many natural predators, including beetles, snakes, toads, turtles, lizards, caterpillars, and birds such as gallinaceous, phasianids, anidids, and thrushes, as well as the snail kite, Rostromus sociabilis, specialized in hunting lagoon snails. Snails are oviparous, and most of them are hermaphroditic, meaning they produce both sperm and ovules. However, they must mate to reproduce since they cannot self-fertilize. Prior to copulation, they shoot each other a spicule of calcium carbonate, called gypsobilum, also known as love darts. This dart has a stimulating function since it does not carry any sexual cells. The exchange of sperm between both land snails is a completely separate part of the mating progression. After the spermatophore is transferred, with the consequent fertilization of the ovules, and once the eggs are ready, they proceed to bury them below the surface. After 2 or 3 weeks, these eggs hatch, and little snails emerge. Each clutch consists of up to 50 eggs, and snails are capable of laying eggs once a month. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget that each new subscriber and positive comment motivates us to create more and better content. Thanks for watching.